Hey guys, it's your girl JK, and welcome to another episode of the Many Wigs Podcast, where if it's popping, I got a wig for that topic. And today we have a treat for you lovies. We are visiting with White House honoree, award-winning global entrepreneur, TV producer, founder, and CEO of BizBoard, and creator of the board game Unword. Lovies, please help me welcome the handsome Ryan Glen.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm good. I'm amazing.
It's good to see you.
Good to be alive.
Yes, and thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, okay, first, let's start with the game.
Yes.
This fun game, Unword. What is it? Explain to the lovies what Unword is.
So, Unword is basically a good time. It's a good time, a bunch of friends, a bunch of family getting around the table. And just playing like those old school word games. I know like in our family, we grew up on Scrabble and Taboo and Monopoly. We spent all night playing Monopoly trying to get all the blue. I always wanted the boardwalks and the blue properties.
Right.
So I always had that in me. And as a child, I just always had this desire to one day just be a board game creator. I want my own board game.
Yes.
It sounded so unrealistic. But it was just something that I've always wanted to do. And
Nice.
I got the opportunity and the idea came to create Unword. It started as an app. The app has been downloaded in over 150 countries.
Yes.
And then, and to sort of to celebrate the success of the app and sort of give the fans something else, Unword related, I came up with the idea for the board game. So yeah, just a bunch of friends or family sitting around the table. You got a board, a pawn, you move around the board, a timer, and some paper. And basically what happens is the co-host will flip a card. So the card will have like a word and a number on it. So whatever the number is, you move that many spaces on the board.
Okay.
And wherever you land, you do what it tells you to do. So it may say you can't use the third letter in the given word this game. So say the word on the card is understanding. So that's U-N-D. The third letter is a D. So that means when you create your words, no one can use a D if you were to land on it and it said that.
Got
so
it.
basically, you get 60 seconds. You guys all got something to write on, and you have to unword the word. So if the word is understanding, you have to create as many words using the letters and understanding as possible. So understand, and anything that any word you can create using any of the letters and understanding in any order.
Got it.
And whoever has the most points when you get to finish is the winner.
Nice.
So,
So fun. So how did you
good
come
time.
up with the name Unword?
to be honest with you, so I'm also a writer, and I was writing in my debut novel, Abused by the Thought of Leaving. I got writer's block, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning one night. I'm staring at the screen on the computer, and I think the word was sometimes, and I just went times, sums, and I was like, wait a minute, this would be a really fun game if I was to like get a bunch of friends together anywhere in the world. We all play via like the phone and just see who's the smartest. And so I remember reaching out to one of my really good friends, Chester Gregory, who I gave the idea. I was like, what do you think about this? Because you know how you, as an entrepreneur, as a creative person, you have your tribe of people that you bounce ideas, because sometimes I can be headlong into something and somebody else like, wait, that's not gonna work. So, and he was like, 1,000,000% I wanna be a part of it. Like whatever you do, like yes. And sent it to my mom, a few other people, and everybody was like, yes. And just did my research and created the app.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that the app has been downloaded.
Yes.
And you said over 150
countries. Yeah.
Wow, 150. And then it's used as a curriculum in school?
Yeah, it's used as curriculum in schools across the world. I know it's in Beijing, Hong Kong, Thailand, of course the U.S. Schools here in Los Angeles use it in curriculum. Several schools here in their ELA, just helping with English and writing proficiency. It's
nice.
just all of while being a very good time, like a fun game. So it's got that educational component, but also just a fun time.
It's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you were invited to host Good Morning America?
Yes, to
How was
co-host
that?
with
Yes,
Robin Roberts.
yes.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
So the experience never happened because at the time, I was 9 years old when I got that opportunity. And my mom at the time didn't want to exploit me. She felt like, my baby is too young to be on Good Morning America. That's such a big show, and so she was like, I don't think you should do it. But a lot came with that opportunity. That wasn't the only thing. I was homepage in one of the biggest magazines at the time, a couple of them, a lot of different magazines did write-ups and articles which highlighted me. And I told my mom, I was like, I wouldn't have to work so hard selling this if you would have just let me do
Good Morning America.
With Robin Roberts. Like, are you crazy?
Right.
But yeah,
she meant well.
She meant well.
Yeah, she was protecting her baby.
Yeah. And I've had my fair share of media since then, but never Good Morning America again. Not yet.
It's coming.
Maybe they'll watch this and bring me back.
Y'all heard that? Bring them back.
Come on, Good Morning America.
But you were honored at the White House.
I was.
Yes. So how was that?
Incredible. So it was under President Barack Obama's administration, and so again, I could not make that one. They reached out to me almost at the last minute to say, hey, you're being honored, yada, yada, yada. And I had just taken a contract for a company in Chicago, and I was actually had to move to Chicago for a short period to work on that. And I just started it. But, and so I couldn't go, but I actually have it in my office. They sent my award, and it's like a glass, how those things go. And yeah, it was, but the everything that came with it, like having my name included, the footage that they sent, them, saying my name and all of that was incredible. So yeah, they still honor me even though I wasn't there.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
So I know that you like to cook.
I think my friends think I like to cook.
No, well, I'll tell you, honey, baby, them waffles.
My waffles.
Uncle Rai, honey, them waffles.
You've had them, that's right.
Yes.
How were they?
Oh, they were delicious.
Y'all heard it from her.
Yes, they were from scratch. Okay, love is from scratch.
Yeah.
Love the waffles. Yeah. So what else do you like to cook?
So those are some of my specialties, and actually the waffles came as a mistake. So I had like my, I think a couple of my nephew and nieces and some of my god siblings at my house, and I'm like, how am I gonna cook for all these people? What am I going? And I'm a creative person, so I think when you're creative, many times you can create in any space creatively. So if it's in music, if it's in acting or forms of entertainment, like decorating a house, a lot of times you notice, that's why so many creative people are they're like, well, he's a rapper, how's he also doing shoes, or how's he, because a lot of times when you are creative, sometimes you can sort of play with that creativity and it just comes. But as it relates to cooking, I just, this will go with this, maybe these flavors will go with it, and so just literally a little mix and match, and next thing you know, they were eating like, wait, these are the best waffles I ever had in my life. What did you put in these? So yeah, literally, my it's so funny. My sister's son calls me because my sister always asks, "Can I have your recipe?" She asked me for the macaroni and cheese recipe, and I finally gave it to her. And when she made it, she had the nerve to call me and say, "I think my mac and cheese came out a little better than yours." I said, "I would never give you another recipe. You're not gonna do that." Play in my face with my recipes. So yeah, she was asking me for the waffles recipe, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. And so she had my little nephew call me, Uncle Ryan.
Oh, she put the baby up to it.
Can mommy please have your recipe? It broke my heart to say no.
Oh, yeah, you can't say no to the kids.
Yeah, so that sort of is how that came about.
Yeah, so your cooking it's amazing. I've had it, trust me, it's amazing.
Thank you.
So do you have a favorite dish that you like to cook?
Yeah, I'm pretty good with the mac and cheese. I can do it in my sleep, honestly. Okay. And it's so funny if I'm making it for an event or something like that. My friends always go like, "How did you make that fast?" Like, it's, so I'm pretty good with doing that. I also make a really good Alfredo dish, so like a chicken shrimp, and that's all from scratch. Okay. Yeah, I'm a from scratch person.
Oh yes, me too. Yeah, I love it. I love to cook from scratch.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, but yeah, when I'm in the mood to cook, I like to do it.
Have you ever thought about opening a restaurant?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I was actually going to open a restaurant 2022. I went through the whole process, and at the last second, the tenant who was in the place decided she didn't want to leave. So it kind of, I said, let me put that on hold. I got so much other stuff going on. But yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah, you should.
I think
I
so.
would be there.
I think so.
Definitely,
See?
yeah.
We at least have one customer, huh?
Yeah, one loyal customer.
One loyal customer.
I'll be there, yeah.
You come from far and...
Oh, yes, honey. I would travel for a good time, honey. Don't threaten me with a good time, because I'll be there. So you just mentioned that you're doing a lot. It's so much that you're doing because you're also acting. And you're currently working on a film. Now, is there, I know sometimes it's hush-hush, but is there anything that you can share with us about the film?
Yeah, so the film that I'm currently working on, I'm working on with my business partner, Claudia Jordan, who's been so great to work with. Her and I are really good friends, and so it's always a great thing when you can work with a friend and maintain that friendship. You guys like bounce ideas off of each other, and so many times people go into business with people that they're close to or they're friends, and it just doesn't work out. But I always have the philosophy of if you just bring the best of you and whoever you work with, bring the best of them, and together you can sort of put it together and make it make sense. But back to your question. So yeah, so I'm producing this one. I'm not acting in it, and it's crazy. I'm gonna tell you this. It's a jaw dropper. People will definitely be on the edge of their seats type of a situation. I can't really talk about it because the details are so, it's just, right now we just gotta keep it on the hush hush. But yeah, I actually was on set today working and have to go back after.
Yeah, so thank you for coming, because he came from set to film with us, and then he's going back to set after this. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here.
Anything for you.
Oh, so special. Just me, lovies, just me. I'm special. So what would you say has been one of your biggest dreams that you have achieved so far?
You know, I think as it relates to me and accomplishing goals and dreams, I never really take the time to stop and think about like what I've done, so I don't really think about it. I will say a little bit. I've sort of been intentional in taking time to acknowledge the blessings and the things God has allowed me to accomplish. But I want to say all of them, but at the same time, I think one of the biggest dreams I had in life was to create a board game, and then to have a TV game show, and I got a TV game show deal last year, and so I think that accomplishment is just like, man, I came from little boy with dreams and from Cleveland, Ohio, who got writer's block, came up with this idea. It was like, oh, this sounds like a game. Did the research that it took to make it an app, turned it into a board game, and 2 months later got a deal to make it a TV show.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so it's just, I think that is, you know, sometimes when I stop and think about it, it's like, wow, it's a blessing to be able to, you know, take an idea and bring it to an actual product.
Yes, nice. Well, I have my copy of the game. So how can my lovies get a copy of the game? So
the game will be in stores around the world really soon. We're working on that with Walmart and Target to start. But right now it's available on the website. So the game's website is unwordthegame.com. They can get it from there.
Very nice. Yep. So would you say you're an entrepreneur?
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%. I love it. I love it. So what advice would you give to beginning entrepreneurs?
The advice that I give to beginning entrepreneurs is the same advice that I give to myself every time I reach a roadblock, and that is, when you have a vision, just stick to it. Like, make sure you're driving in I always say stay in your lane, because you know the possibilities and things that are for you come to you when you're in your lane. And so, and then I always say, nothing's impossible when you're unstoppable. So if you keep an unstoppable attitude and mind frame, there's nothing you can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And to add to that, just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going, honey, because I always say you can't spell millions without a couple L's.
Exactly.
So, yeah, keep on going,
That's
honey.
true.
Keep on going. So what do you enjoy most about entrepreneurship?
I would say the creating component to it. So being able to literally come up with something off the top of your head and just take the necessary steps to make it to an actual product. When I first came up with the idea for Unword, I literally scribbled on a piece of paper what I wanted it to look like. And I'm no artist or I don't draw or anything like that, but it was just, here's a start. If I can go from this and create whatever. And I gave the start to the team, and then they took it and said, okay, we get this. And then it just grew from there into now you have this. But that's how.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what do you think is one of the biggest mistakes that beginning entrepreneurs make?
Looking at other entrepreneurs, looking at other people who have things, who are more successful, who have sold more, made more. That can be an inspiration or it can be a hindrance. Exactly. And I always tell people, don't look at everyone else's pathway is not yours. Do what you're supposed to do. Get the research you're supposed to have. And then if you create something that's similar to what somebody else has, put your thing on it to make it different.
Make it your own.
Because, you know, Scrabble is incredible, but Words with Friends was as well. And they're very similar.
Right, that is true. I never thought about it like that. Yeah, because I don't, you know, like you can't compare things because you have to understand like what's for that person is for them and what's for you is for you. So I love that. I love that. So what has been some of the biggest challenges that you face as an entrepreneur and how did you push through?
So as an entrepreneur, people call me a serial entrepreneur. So I might have a waffle line one day and be making a stocking line the next. Like it's you know, it just depends. But for me, there's been different challenges. But one thing I would say that I had a challenge, if we could just be honest,
absolutely,
is finances from the beginning, especially. Trying to secure finances. So I would go to, and I'll bring this back around, but I would go to different events and investors and pitch my ideas. I remember me and my cousin as kids, or not even kids, we were grown. So we would, just young adults, go with these crazy good ideas. We can stop this, we got this product to create this. And I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so I would pitch these in Ohio is very, the people in that space are more old money. And so they never really wanted to give. They would listen to our ideas and be like, oh my God, so incredible. Like they would look at us like, y'all came up with that? But it's in Ohio, it's a bunch of older white men that are the investors and us, these two young, ambitious black guys, a little bit too much for them apparently. But I would often find that when pitching these ideas, as impressed as they were, as much as they felt these were incredible ideas and this is something that the world could possibly very much need, they would choose someone that did not look like us, who created a different color shoestring and was like, oh, we're gonna give the money to them. And I'm gonna tell you how that worked out for me. And at the time it was very, I mean, we were down, we were like, man, we worked so hard, how are we gonna get this? And but it taught me to do what I have to do to make the money on my own and put the money back into it. So if I have to work a 9 to 5, if I need to work 2 jobs, I did whatever I had to do. It took me longer, but I'm gonna make this point. When I got to where I could get the TV show, when I got the deal, the one thing he asked me was, how many people do you owe?
How many people do you owe?
How many people do you owe? As in like how many people are you indebted to? How many investors? And I said, nobody. He said, you don't owe anyone? You did all of this on your own? And no pats on the back to me, but it was just, it's so shocking because people don't like to get where you got a game in 150 countries and then you create this. And I've literally done it on my dime.
Wow.
It took me longer, but I did it on my dime. So when I got ready to do the deal, he said, I'm 1,000,000% taking a deal with you and you don't owe anyone? That's unheard of. So I always tell that story when I tell young entrepreneurs, you may not get them, especially of color, you may not get the funding. They may not give it to you simply because you are a young black man or a young Mexican or young, whatever, you may not get it. However, when it comes around, when I got ready to write my television deal, and this is one of the top producers in the game, said, you tell me what you want. And I said exactly what I wanted, and he said, it's yours.
You got it.
I got it. And I got it because I'm not invested. I own 100% of my stuff. So when it's time to do these deals, I write what I want to write. And I can because I own it.
I love that.
So yeah, so you may not get the funding, you may not have the money, but work a 9 to 5, work 2 9 to 5s, do whatever you have to do, put the money back into your company, and when you get to a place where you can present it to the world, you own 100% of yourself.
I love
and
it.
I chose that way over being indebted to somebody.
Wow. Y'all heard that, lovies. Love it. So were you born and raised in Ohio?
I was, yeah.
Nice.
Born and
Okay.
raised, all my family. Mom and dad still together, live in Ohio, so yeah.
Nice. So how long have you been in California?
I've been here, 3 years officially I've lived here, but I've been back and forth for work for like the last 15 years maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've lived here for 3 years.
Okay. And what do you miss most about Ohio?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
No.
My family.
Your family? Of course
I mean,
your
that
family.
right.
Yeah.
But outside of that, nothing. I loved living there for as long as I did, though. It's a quiet life. You know, it's so completely different from Hollywood. No one cared what you were doing. I mean, they never even me and my parents lived in the same city, and people would stop them to say, "Oh, your son is the one who created Unword and this, that, and the other." But they never stopped me. They never. It was just, hey.
So what do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe they were afraid to, I don't know, but my mom is extremely social. She's owned companies and businesses in the city. And so they knew her probably more. So she would tell me, "Oh yeah, this lady at the bank today told me she knew of your game," and yeah. But I didn't get that a lot there. Yeah, it was good for me. I mean, I didn't necessarily need any attention in my, where I live, but yeah.
And do you get it here?
Yeah, people recognize me. I was just in London, and a guy stopped me and was
Wow.
"Ryan Glen, I just DM'd you. Oh my God." And so I'm like, wow. And the game is everywhere, but I'm like, man, I'm in London. They recognize me. Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a blessing. I always count it as a blessing when someone actually appreciates the work that you did. It's no room for being stuck up or feeling like, yeah, look at me. I'm like a lot of celebrities, a lot of people do, just that have products or whatever the case is. But to understand that people actually take the time out of their day to acknowledge you and the money out of their finances to purchase your products and to support you, that's family.
So if you could go back and change anything in your life, what would that be?
If I could go back and change anything, I'm like one of those people that don't. I mean, there's always something, but I like the things that I've gone through because it made me the person I am. But I would say if it was one thing that I could go back in my life and change, and thank God I've, gotten to a place now where I'm all right, but it's credit. That's so important. We don't talk about it a lot, especially as young Black entrepreneurs. It's so important. When my mom used to say, "Don't get that credit card at 18. Don't do it." And you have to have a credit card at some point, but get it when you are financially mature. When you're able to consistently stay on it, keep the credit below 30%.
Exactly.
And if I would have done that, I think that also would have been a great thing. But sometimes when we, as young Black entrepreneurs, we don't have access to resources, as many resources sometimes. And so, or I'll say we don't have access to the same resources. So for me, when I was given the opportunities to be able to go and do, okay, I got to get this, I got to get that, all for the company, but it's just so important to focus on credit and keep that credit good from a young age as an entrepreneur.
Exactly, because then y'all have to come see me so I can fix y'all credit.
There you have it. There you have it.
Well, I have a gift for you.
I love gifts.
Yes.
I love gifts.
So me and my sister Gigi, remember our sister we met at the event last year. We own a fragrance, of course, and so we have our essential perfume oil called Lay Elegance.
I love the name.
Thank you. And she has notes of white peony and vanilla.
Wow, it smells amazing.
Thank you. And then we have our cologne oil, Otis.
Come
and
on,
he
Otis.
has
Look like a king.
And he has notes of musk, amber, and sandalwood.
Wow, Smells great.
Yes.
I'm gonna put some of this. I'm gonna go back on
yes.
set with it.
So these are yours.
Absolutely.
Just my little thank
you
you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us.
For sure.
It's so lovely to see you again.
So good to see you always.
Yes.
Doing your thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's it for this episode of the Many Wigs Podcast. And remember, if it's popping, I got a wig for that topic. Bye.
See y'all later.